on a basic level, there's lots of different ways of this. We can almost kind of, if I'm not so sure about the punch, not so comfortable with driving it in, I might almost kind of, a little bit like I described, like if you're getting out of a swimming pool, you climb yourself up, slump on the side, or out of the water into the boat, you could almost hit and drop your elbow, almost hit and drop. But doing this properly, I'm going to tuck my elbow in and I'm going to drive. There's a want sometimes for us to almost stop at that point, to resist, or even try and push back. And if somebody's doing a turning punch and they've got the element of surprise, timing, gravity, weight, power, all of this driving in on their way down, you're not going to be able to stop this. You simply will not stop it, and you definitely won't lift it back up. So we really need to embrace tucking the elbow in and a big scoop, a solid scoop. That's a really basic thing in Chi Sau, and we're working some of the most important techniques: a turning stance, a tan, and a punch. I want him to do the Wing Chun. I want him to do his Chi Sau, his tan, and his defence. I'm going to come in with a punch, but I want to really put this in with force. I'm going to put too much in it, and I'm not kind of lifting out. If I lift out, he'll just go further across. You know, he'll turn a little bit, but then he can also make that go lateral as well. You know, because we know that tan can move if it needs to. But I'm going to stay within the kind of boundaries of Chi Sau, the realms of Chi Sau, I should say. And I'm going to drive this in, and when I do, what I'm after is that we don't kind of try and stop, we don't try and go the opposite way. You're going to tuck the elbow in and really scoop it around. We're going to really exaggerate that elbow tuck in, right in. And the thing that I want you all to really experience on this is if I genuinely go for, because also in Chi Sau, it's a game and it's controlled, and we know all these things. And so therefore, when we go for punches, it's not really, you know, oh yeah, I got one there, and you get me, and oh, I'm going to get one. And there's no threat. But for this, I want to try and hurt you. That's the thing. So I'm going to come in with this punch, I'm going to use muscle and force, and the thing that I'll find, so please block this, and if I drive that in, it's the weirdest thing, and I'm not giving him this. If I drive that in, you see that muscle is mono-directional, and it kind of has that issue with over-committing. So the more he tucks in that elbow, and I drive forwards, this is like, oops, my bad, because I've gone for that. In Chi Sau, I'm never really going to go for that. So I'm not experiencing that punch. Big deal, fine. That's great for me as the Wing Chun person on the attack. But for the Wing Chun person on the defence, I want you to appreciate a little bit more what's happening when that commitment is driven in and what we feel. So a good turn, a good punch in here, and you'll see it'll just take you off. It's the strangest thing. It's an amazing feeling, just, you know, to tuck in and turn. Because in a classroom situation, it's very easy for us to sort of calm everything down, and we play it light, and we work, you know, there's other positions and triangular structure and redirection, and then, you know, well, what I want to build up in tonight is rather than, hey, let's play Chi Sau, and rather than getting into that, I want us to kind of look at this with the stages. You know, you've got your argument, this kind of thing. I might come in with a strike here, so he blocks, and then we get into a grab, and then effectively we're then going to go from Chi Sau at that point. So how we introduce, how we bridge into that Chi Sau, I'm just going to hit you basically. So he blocks, we get something in, and then we're off from wherever that shape is, and then we're going to roll. We can then obviously think, well, as if a fight's going to go into that. Well, it's not, we're playing Chi Sau. But it's very easy for us to always go, hey, Chi Sau. And then we get into it that way, you know. And it's almost like, it's how you're setting your stall up. You know, it's like, that's the thing. Before you even start that game, you've just gone into it, hey, I'm not knocking the fact that you might be jolly about it. I'm knocking the fact that we're not going to acknowledge or appreciate the self-defense element of what's going on in that game. But if I just think I'm going to hit you here, and then we're in, and now we've got something, and now we can, maybe we'll wait until there's a strike, and then we'll think, okay, right, move out, and I won't come in with anything, yeah, and then again from there we're going to roll, and then we'll get into the Chi Sau. And just to kind of, again, it's just bridging that gap between your sparring and what's going on in that Chi Sau. But within the Chi Sau, I want us to experience that if I did, I've lost it, and I go for the punch, and I use the force, and the muscle here, as long as that is properly tucked in, and we have that phrase you used before class, that a leap of faith, allow the elbow not to stop, freeze, or try and go back, but allow it to continue on its path and turn and and there you go. That's what we're after. So go for the punch, because when you go for the punch, tell yourself you're not punching as the Wing Chun guy. You know, we'll use, as I said, the realms of Chi Sau, in as far as we'll keep our elbow in for now. But allow yourself to overcommit, because if you're thinking, I'm Wing Chun in Chi Sau, you're not going to allow yourself to overcommit. So give yourself that license to go for it. And then the person that's defending will get to appreciate what's happening within that. And as I say, it's like, you know, if I come in with a kick and you turn with a gum, and then we say, well, that gum's not very good. It's obviously the kick, isn't it? Because if I commit to the kick and push through, then we get the desired effects from the gum. So that's kind of what I want to have a look at with this. Brilliant. Cheers, dude. Bless you. Go, thanks.